don't need bigger knife. Yeah.
Greetings, everybody. We're back around the table again today to continue looking at the brand new CRKT Thero.
Well, I'm looking at it.
It's a Thero.
Mhm.
It is a looker. It's a nice looking knife.
Yeah.
It has
Wow.
some really neat design elements to it for sure. Little almost spiderwebby cutouts there showing off the carbon fiber underlays.
The more astute viewers are going to liken
Carbon
this.
fiber.
Well, we'll get there.
It's very TJ Schwartz. Like, you can tell it's
Yeah.
one of his designs immediately, right?
And what design is this mimicking?
You're
The
a
Millet-
mimicking. The Millet Knives Torrent.
Yes,
is
there
what he's
it
going
is.
for.
That's
He's
what I
trying to lead a dog to new
I'm
tricks.
trying to.
A horse to water.
I didn't know the name of it.
I don't know.
Oh, shit. Okay, fair enough. Well, sorry.
The Torrent. Yeah, that's what he's trying to go off of here. And it's not a copy of, it's just kind of an homage tribute
Right,
to.
right.
There is definitely some design differences.
Well, material differences and layout differences for sure.
And basically everyone came to an agreement that they could come out with a similar product through CRKT, and TJ wins and everyone else involved is still doing their jam.
Yep.
So goods and some bads for sure. We didn't dabble it too much on it on the Tuesday episode, but I'll actually say that maybe some of us underscored cutting performance on this thing. I think this nice flat grind is worth people looking at a second time around.
I gave it an 8.
That's also what I gave it, which is pretty healthy. But I think some
I gave it a
scores
7.
dropped to some 7s. I think
I
Mr.
think
Man
it's
dropped
7
to
as
some
well.
7s as well.
It's a little rippy.
And factory edge, yes, but blade geometry and blade design itself is maybe where I
that's a fair argument.
challenge. That is, I think the blade stock with this grind could optimize some really good cutting performance.
I was expecting it to do better based off of the geometry, is when I first.
That's fair. That's fair. Something that I'll throw out there right now is the pivot collar. And the theme of 2020 just recurring on the splashes of bling that can maybe justify some overpriced whatchamacallits.
Mhm.
So,
I do enjoy the fact that you're drinking your drink with a
don't worry
gilded,
about
a
it.
gilded rim.
Yeah, that's funny.
Here I am drinking out of this busted ass can.
They will-
Somebody had to say it.
On note of the knife, if you watch the disassembly, it's a very small piece of anodized aluminum or whatever
Now-
it may be.
That being said, it is a nice splash of color.
It is a pretty color.
It is. Yeah.
Visually striking.
I actually did like the anodizing on all the collars across all of CRKT's more than I thought I was going to.
The
Whether-
Montosa with the purple or the tuna with the orange, like they all pop.
I think there's an Overland that's kind of a Warncliffey looking tuna that's
Right.
out there too, also with the bronze. And from what I've seen, they're doing a pretty good job. Longevity, I'd like to see. They're stand up to a green 940.
This is
I heard somebody question whether it was actually aluminum or if it was just like
like a plastic or
plastic with like a chrome layer over top.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is an aluminum on it.
I would assume so.
Again, watching disassembly videos of that,
That's a
I
fair
think
argument.
that,
Just to show off how inset that is behind the screw, I don't think you'll be worried about the color fading so much as you will dirt and crap getting caught in there. So maybe clean it every now and again.
But something you don't have to worry about with dirt and crap is ball bearings. It's a good segue. Come on, I got to get that segue.
There are
in.
no ball bearings in this knife.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's Teflon, which normally I hate to see in a folding knife, but CRKT actually does dial them in pretty well.
That's horseshit.
For Teflon.
It's
For
so-
Teflon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, you throw pivot colors on,
That's my problem.
and you can throw a CEO with $55 price points, Canadian at least, or $50 price point Canadian, out there for that has an IKBS system. But you can't drop this on us for $80 with an IKBS.
It would be nice,
Bronze
but I
monster.
wonder,
Something. Yeah.
does that have to do with how much each individual maker is, like, what sort of cut are they getting per design? And is that negotiable per materials used?
That brings
or-
up a good point on, is Millet Knives getting any sort of, that hasn't been talked
But
about.
before we get too far away from the action and the pivot and whatnot, part of the action is it is very poppy once you do get it to pop, but it is because the detent is so sharp that you have to.
I just found
effort.
they're very inconsistent, and
Yeah.
some of them,
Yeah.
like I've handled 2 or 3 of them now.
Mhm.
And
But as far as how sharp the detent is, it's
You can hear it.
Now,
Yeah.
personally, I like a sharp detent like that, but it is something to be aware of.
I
And
also like
you are right;
ZTRs.
it is very inconsistent. The 3 that I've handled have all been different from each other.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yes.
Which it isn't great.
I feel like it's the Teflon washers too that are probably giving it the like stick factor on occasion. Like where
Yeah.
it doesn't want to pop all the way open.
and if it does launch, it goes all the way. But again, like I think this is a serious con on what could have been a phenomenal knife. You could have bumped the price just a touch if it had been IKBS even.
Yeah.
Gone with non-coated hardware maybe to cheap out. I don't know why they went with all blacked out hardware and black blade and whatever instead of a satin. But
because it's cooler.
but it's costing. So
Yeah.
where does
Yep.
my money go?
Straight up mall ninja.
With the webbing, it does. With the carbon fiber
little bit.
behind specifically, you're right.
A
It
little
does
bit.
kind of give that. Yeah.
Yep.
And then also the billboarding. Big time
Pretty
pocket.
harsh on this one.
Yeah.
CRKT giant on the blade side, CRKT giant on the clip side.
That's a good CRKT clip. I quite
Mhm.
like that.
But yeah, especially even comparing to the Civivi that we reviewed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, this has so much billboarding on it.
Yes.
And again,
Yes,
this
yes.
might come back to the fact that they want to tie themselves to Millet Knives. And like the conversation we were just having about, is there a royalty, is there not? Maybe they want to tie themselves to the higher end one to get that tie between their version and
Yeah.
the higher end.
Where it's like, oh, I can't afford the titanium and the Damasteel, but I can afford the 8CR14 and the plastic.
And maybe I don't know specifically where I know that knife. Where have I seen that knife before? Oh, maybe it's that one from CRKT. I'll score that as like even the guys who are not in the know, but just think that patterning is cool.
Mhm. For sure.
To be fair, it is kind of cool. Like it is.
Oh, it's a cool
I,
looking knife.
I
yeah.
like the cutouts.
Mhm.
I do too, if it's done properly. And not saying this is not done properly because I think it is a good budget version of what they were trying to go for.
Yep.
But with the molded plastic overlay and then the carbon fiber, and I want to get into it now.
Sure.
How thin? How thin is the sticker? Like, you didn't even see anything in the disassembly video talking about.
The scale never got removed. Like the plastic overlay never
In
got removed.
Shabazz's
Yeah.
disassembly.
But Joseph and I have talked about the thickness of the overlay compared to the depth of the hole.
Yeah, you can kind of get a rough estimation of how thick it will be just from, as Dennis just said, the depth of the holes compared to
The
the
answer is
thickness
not.
at the edge.
Answer is not very.
And then
not
if you
very
see the
thick at all.
cutout of where the liner lock is, you can see in between the scale and the liner lock itself. And again, like it's got to be sticker thinness.
No, this really is just for visuals. I understand that. But if it meant that they could have gone a different direction other than carbon fiber sticker and kept the price just a little bit lower, given everything else about this knife, I would have appreciated that.
Trade out the carbon fiber for ball bearings.
Even the stainless steel liner anodized a different color to make underneath pop in a blue, in a red, in a whatever.
Yeah.
I would rather see my money go to that than I would.
A thin carbon fiber sticker.
Carbon
It's
fiber.
going to fool a lot of people, and it's a super classy, and it's not going to even come up in conversation when it comes to those cutouts. But that's one of the first things I noticed is, for me, I'd like to see my money go other places than
And it's funny
attempting
because
this.
in other industries we see things like a thin veneer of carbon fiber used to sort of elevate the disposition someone might have to a product, such as laptops or
Lots of things.
lots
nowadays.
of stuff where it's like, oh yeah, carbon fiber. It's like
It's fancy now.
it's a sticker. It's
Yeah.
a sticker of carbon fiber. It's like there's 3 layers at most of carbon fiber.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's
He's angry about it.
Oh, a little.
Yep.
but
I've been gypped before.
again, I'm not necessarily, it's me nitpicking at this point in time.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a flaw of the knife or the aesthetic of the knife or what they were going for. All I see is dollar signs that are hard to justify.
A little bit. One thing I did want to touch on was the feel in hand. I know you said you didn't quite mind how this tapers off.
I got long, skinny apple pickers,
Yeah,
man.
right.
What can I say? Like,
For
it's,
me, it feels like as soon as I want to go, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. So that folded without me attacking the liner at all.
attacking the liner.
So if you open it slowly, that could fail. Okay, so if you want to pick one of these up, maybe check that out before you buy it. As I pinch and push forward with my thumb, it feels like these two fingers have nothing to do with gripping the knife, which I don't necessarily mind, but I feel like if I want a more secure grip, I have to really bear down, and then the pocket clip bites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my complaint.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
and ergonomically, I do think that they could have done better on the clip.
Just to show that clip comes out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like a Spyderco clip or a Benchmade clip, it will flare back straight, so it's going to mate with your hand just a little bit better and not get bit. But for whatever reason, this is the style they went with.
Yeah, it doesn't take me much at all to start showing a mark in my hand.
Well,
from that
especially this dip
Absolutely.
right here, yeah.
Mhm.
And it really comes down to that being billboarding for more than it is a conscious effort of being a clip. Like,
No.
even when that's outside your pocket, that's very obvious on what you're carrying, right?
And I mean, that's kind of how CRKT is going to make their money at this level, right? They want to mass produce cheaply built knives that perform well enough. Honestly, that's a business model. And
You know what it doesn't have, though? A giant thumb stud like a Kiradashi getting in the way. Like, it's, yeah.
no,
Sorry.
the opening hole isn't actually all that bad on this guy. It's not the worst thing to actuate if you had to with your middle finger, but it's a little hard to get to with your thumb, I find.
So one weird thing that I had actually noticed about the ergonomics of the handle is it is very reminiscent of a Canadian belt knife.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were talking about that throughout the week on how that definitely has. All you're needing to do is cant the blade a little bit back,
Yeah.
and you definitely have a belt knife style handle.
Yeah.
Just a weird little parallel there.
Mhm.
There might be a reason why I don't like those knives.
That is fair.
At least you know that you're consistent.
Yep.
Well, and the cant of the blade on a Canadian belt knife puts you into more of a hammer grip, which is prone to this style of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also on the note of the handle, that is one of the major flaws that we found out with the fit and finish on these guys.
Yes.
Is on the back spacer, there is a consistent issue of a chip in a regular spot that will show up on pictures here.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we took some close-ups. We've got some shots of the consistency of this little spot.
Yes.
Yeah. And there has been a couple that I have seen that have other inconsistent chips along the back spacer on the inside there as well. So there's definitely some flaws and hiccups with their fit and finish and manufacturing.
Machining in
Yeah.
particular.
It seems like one particular chip is in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they might also have extras, right?
Yep.
And for a knife at this price, you maybe don't care, but it is a sign of the manufacturing quality overall, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to dabble on, this second screw here, if you do look on the inside of the knife, and you might even be able to see it in the same pictures that we just showed earlier, that screw there is completely exposed, the barrel spacer, which means that the back spacer got injected molded over top of the steel.
Or at least it had a spacer in
It's
the
like
mold.
a C
yeah.
channel kind
It's
of around it.
that they would tube it through or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
It looks strong enough that it's not going to conflict with the strength of the knife itself. But anytime I see that and it's not fully encased,
It's just a bad taste in your
same
mouth.
with that rake knife, the super slim,
Yeah.
whatever the hell number that one is that you own. It just
I don't even know. But
yeah. So it's something I noticed, and again, consistently noticed that there was this.
So it was a design choice. Was it the right one?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
You wonder how many backspacers are going to start swinging on people.
Well,
Yeah,
and
hard to say.
knowing how many people will actually go out of their way to abuse their CRKT knives.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's going to be that much of an issue, to tell you the truth, but it's something I notice as a knife nerd. So,
Most definitely. Any other major points we have on this guy?
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
have anything.
No.
yeah, I think overall it's not a bad budget option. If you
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
it's cool
yeah, for sure.
ergonomically,
Nice
There's a-
splash of design to it for sure.
there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that you could waste your money on for the $70
Mhm.
off the website marketplace, and this isn't the worst option out there, guys.
Definitely
Not by a long mean. So yeah, if it tickles your fancy, do it up.
For sure.
We're picky, but I mean, if you like the design, yeah,
Yep.
go for it.
Yeah.
Gonna give a big giant thank out to the Cutting Edge for helping us out with our reviews here by lending us these wonderful toys.
He doesn't even know if he can say it. We might have to censor that because someone already paid the $500
Nobody's
tier
doing that.
on Patreon. Check out the tiers. We've got them up now. Super cool stuff to check out. Yeah. Kill the thank out.
Hashtag kill the thank out.
Yeah.
Head on over to the Pokey Factor Instagram. Give us a follow there. Follow us for some behind the scenes stuff. You know, some of the dinners and stuff like that we're preparing on a regular basis on our Sundays. Get some information. I'm going to knock things over and try and stab Dennis this time.
That's all right. It's only fair.
But yeah, follow us to see.
Upcoming giveaways.
Thank you.
Things like that. Yeah. Also, links to our latest videos are also up on there. If you're not subscribed already to the YouTube and notifying on the YouTube, you can check them out through the links in our Pokey Factor as well.
No. Go to our channel. Subscribe. Like. Follow.
Hit that bell.
Do that thing.
Do all of the
Ding,
things.
ding.
You should be following us everywhere because
Ding,
that's
ding.
the norm. But
Indeed. So yeah, that all being said, this is Nigel the Smith signing off.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Pipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
From exile.ca.
We will catch you again next week.